Most Americans say democracy is important to the United States' identity, but the nation's democratic system is not functioning well, according to a new poll. The Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research poll found 76% of Americans said a democratically elected government is extremely or very important to the country's identity. Only 13% of Americans said a democratically elected government is somewhat important. 9% said it is not too important or not at all important to the nation's identity. I don't know what they're on. Um, Survey respondents didn't display much faith in the country's ability to function as a democracy, though. More than half of Americans surveyed, at 53%, said they believe the U.S. is a poorly functioning democracy, while 31% said they think the nation is a well functioning democracy. American democracy is a focal point for President Biden's reelection campaign, saying it is your freedom is on the ballot in January speech near Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, his first major general election speech of 2024 cycle. Biden also said former President Trump is willing to sacrifice democracy to put himself in power during the speech. The new AP NORC poll also found 91% of U.S. adults said the right to vote is either extremely or very important to the nation's identity. 84% of Americans also said freedom of religion is extremely or very important to the nation's identity. The AP NORC poll was conducted from March 21st to 25th, featuring a sample of 1,282 people with a margin of sampling error of 3.8 percentage points at the 95% confidence level. The most interesting thing to me about this article is where we have more than half of Americans surveyed said they believe the U.S. is a poorly functioning democracy. That's not too far off. I mean, I feel like the first thing people are going to go to is most likely the you know presidential elections. Now the electoral college determines who wins the election, and how we've had multiple elections in the last 20 years that have been won by people who got the lesser amount of votes. Um, so that's probably what they're referring to more likely than anything else. But even then, it's like if we want to go a little bit further, because we don't talk about the oligarchy as much as I probably used to. But just think of how insane it is that if you want to run for office, if you want to make an attempt at trying to be a representative of the people, you are at, unless you're backed by some financial interest, at an inherent disadvantage because people don't know who you are, which means they're less likely to vote for you because they don't know who you are. If you want to get your name out there and get advertisements, you have to pay large, giant, thousands of dollars worth of sums of money to even be able to do that. So I see where they would. It's a poor functioning democracy because at every turn it goes out of its way to discriminate and harm the chances of regular people from getting involved with this stuff. It's designed on purpose so that a select group of individuals will keep on having their proteges and friends and associates, right? Keep going up further and further. Um, and then, the rest of us will just sit there and wallow, I guess, in the inability to get involved. But yeah, I think the two biggest reasons to say it's not functioning are the difficulty of even being able to run for office because how much money you need to be able to do it in a lot of instances, and also the electoral college. My other favorite part is I tell you, people just they don't come up with any rationale for this stuff. 31% said they think the nation is a well functioning democracy. I don't. I mean, I guess from the standpoint of in most elections, do we have a process where the person who wins the most votes, wins, and they're counted, right? I guess I could see where they could view it as well functioning from that, but like I said, there are so many indirect factors that contribute to just like the rotten nature of the American democracy, where you almost don't even know if you're actually seeing anything, truly be indicative of people voting for change when there's so many factors against getting that change. Again, like a lack of name recognition, like the popular vote getting overruled by the Electoral College, um, the amount of money to even run for stuff. This is there's just so many factors that make the U.S.'s democracy weaker than it could be. I think we need public financing of elections. I think we need um, I just believe the popular vote should always win. It's like that in literally 90% of American elections. I don't know why with that one. So whatever. It's something I've talked about before, but I'm interested in these polls. It shows people. They might not always be able to express it to like give you examples, but there's some part of most Americans that knows stuff is off with their own country, and that's always a good sign when people are aware to some extent. We just have to inform them a little bit more and give them some basis of where to improve it.